Hi, my name is Ryan McCarron, and I have breaking news out of Southern California and in the movie industry. A fire is underway. In fact, hundreds of firefighters from Los Angeles County and Los Angeles City are trying to put out a massive blaze at the Universal Studios in Hollywood, California. The fire broke out on a back filming lot, and we do not have much more information as to what exactly has gone up in the smoke. We understand the King Kong exhibit is on fire at this tour, and also a film vault that houses many important movies as part of a way of keeping track of the history that has been made there at Universal Studios. The fire has been smoldering for much of the morning, setting up huge clouds of smoke visible for miles. The blaze began around 4:45 a.m. on June 1st, 2008, and was contained in the lot by 9 a.m. that morning. However, the fire continued to burn for 12 hours, causing millions of dollars in damages. More importantly, no deaths or significant injuries resulted from the fire. Fortunately, nothing irreplaceable was lost either. Although tons of damage was done, lives are more important than any sort of damage to famous movies, movie sets, or any other attraction that was at the amusement park. And for the movies that were destroyed, they made duplicates of them so that no movies or movie sets are missing from the Universal Studio backlot tour if you were to experience it today. The fire quickly grew because of the facades that were built. The facades was the main fuel of the fire and made it grow as fast as it did. About 300 to 400 LA City and LA County firefighters, 24 engines and apparatuses, and also a LA City helicopter unit were sent to help battle this blaze. These helicopters dropped over 360 gallons of water at a time and would be frequently making trips back and forth from the ponds and lakes on the site as fast as every minute. Large flames and black smoke filled the sky and was being pushed into the air. At one point, the fire burned 2 city blocks, and wide, thick columns of smoke rose to thousands of feet into the air that could be seen for miles. There were a few explosions that had occurred during this fire. These explosions were propane tanks that were being used on the backlot. The explosions were the most devastating effect that the fire caused to firefighters. It had been one of these propane tanks that caused minor injuries to 2 firefighters as they tried to fight the blaze. During the fire, 8 other firefighters were also injured. The fire was able to be contained just to the backlot. On the backlot, there was a brush area that had been a concern for the firefighters. It was a dry area that would enhance the fire and make their jobs of distinguishing it a lot more difficult. These firefighters were still trying to put the fire out for several hours after it had already been contained. In total, the fire burned about 3.5 acres, which luckily turns out to be just 1% of the entire studio. The studio is a 400-acre lot. Fire inspectors had not determined what caused the blaze. There were not any reports of filming at the time of the fire. They were able to find out that a pressurized water sprinkler system was obstructed and not working according to the standard, which did not help the fight against the fast-moving fire that tore through 2 city blocks at the Universal Studios backlot that Sunday morning. The fire destroyed the King Kong tour and burning the sets for movies such as the famous Back to the Future series and Bruce Almighty. Later, the Los Angeles County Fire Chief, Michael Freeman, ordered an investigation into whether the lack of water pressure in the Universal's fire protection system allowed the blaze to get out of control at the world-famous studio and theme park. It was only the second fire at this historic site in nearly 2 decades, leveling facades, hollowing out buildings, and creating the kind of catastrophe that filmmakers relish to recreate. This time around, thousands of videos chronicling Universal's movies and TV shows were destroyed. Though it isn't the first big fire to occur at Universal, it had been the most crucial fire to have ever occurred at the studios. This fire had caused the most significant amount of damage. Luckily, Universal Studios has their own fire brigade that is very well trained when put into these kind of situations. They were able to keep the spreading under control until other units came to back them up. This has been Ryan McCarron reporting on the Universal Studios backlot fire. I hope you have a great day.